A world where armies move with precision, where police patrol the streets as robots, and where the everyday tasks of our society are slowly taken over by machines. This isn't a science fiction movie, it's happening right now in 2026. The 500,000 humanoid robots by 2026 is no longer just a clickbait headline. China is producing more humanoids in the next 18 months than Tesla will likely produce in the next 5 years combined. We are talking about robot dogs, humanoids that can replace your partner, military robots that wield submachine guns, and machines that will change sports forever. This is not science fiction. This is a manufacturing blitzkrieg happening right now. And the 2026 deadline changes the calculus for the global economy permanently. The scale advantage. In the world of software, you can win with a better algorithm. But in the world of atoms, you win with scale. China understands a fundamental truth that Silicon Valley engineers often forget. The factory is the product itself. We are witnessing a shift that mirrors what happened with solar panels, electric vehicles, and lithium-ion batteries. In each of those sectors, Western companies invented the technology and created the first viable units. Then China used their sheer hard work and geographical benefits to make the technology cheaper, turning it into commodities by producing them at a scale that tanked global prices. Humanoid robots are not immune to this playbook, and let us be real, none of the technology is. When we talk about producing 500,000 units by 2026, we are looking at a required production rate of over 40,000 units per month by the end of next year. This requires a supply chain that simply does not exist anywhere else on Earth. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of harmonic drives, millions of torque sensors, and custom actuator motors that are currently produced in artisan-level quantities in Europe and the US. In order to hit that 40,000 units per month target, you cannot rely on a German supplier who takes more than 6 months to ship a precision gear. You need to own the supply chain itself. China's existing electric vehicle ecosystem, particularly the motor and battery supply lines, slots directly into humanoid production. A joint motor for a robotic knee is not much different from a high-precision motor in an electric car door. The cost advantage here is enormous. Tesla is aiming to get Optimus under a $20,000 price point eventually. By the time China hits the 500,000 unit run rate, the unit economics will shift to a terrifying level. Even today, China is already making humanoid robots that cost less than $10,000. Chinese humanoid robots from companies like Unitree, Fourier Intelligence, and Xiaomi have back projects hitting bills of materials costs between $8,000 to $12,000. If the marginal cost of producing a labor replacement robot falls below $10,000, the return on investment for a factory owner goes from interesting to mathematically unavoidable. A factory owner in Shenzhen will not buy a $20,000 robot that requires importing. They will buy the $5,000 or $6,000 locally produced machine that pays for itself within 6 months. It can do all the house chores, assist elderly people into walking, and remind them of the important things they need to do. This is not just a technological advantage anymore, it is a market annihilation advantage. The 500,000 unit blitz. To visualize this, we have to look at the coalition forming to hit this target. This is not just a single state-owned enterprise struggling to figure out bipedal locomotion. China's #1 project approach involves a concentrated capital firestorm directed at specific champions. Let us take the example of Fourier Intelligence, which is already shipping the GR1, a full-size humanoid robot that has moved into mass production preparation. Unitree has already produced the evolved H1 humanoid, which outpaces many hydraulic Boston Dynamics machines that cost more than $100,000 each. Then there is the shadow player Xiaomi with the Cyber One. This is a company that understands consumer electronics scaling better than anyone on the planet. The 2026 deadline is not random. It is about constructing the robotic training infrastructure. You cannot ship 500,000 robots without 500,000 simulated environments and real-world training grounds. When they ship so many of these robots into actual environments, these robots get smarter every single time they perform an action. Shanghai's recent establishment of the first heterogeneous humanoid robot training ground is the blueprint here. These are massive warehouses where machines are not doing useful work yet. They are simply falling down, getting up and learning fine manipulation tasks 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The data is being fed directly into a centralized foundational model. It processes all the data, and the robots get better each time. The specifications we are leaking from these programs also show us a departure from Western design philosophy. While Tesla brags about the delicacy of Optimus picking up an egg, the Chinese specification for the 2026 fleet prioritizes durability, modularity, and a whopping 22-hour runtime. If we look at the battery swap system similar to NIO's EV stations, we can see that this robot can change its own power source. A robot does not need to look sleek if it can walk back to a docking station, drop the battery pack, and pick up a new one. It can resume soldering or packaging within 90 seconds of getting its battery low. The government's Robot Plus Application Action Plan integrates these machines directly into the national grid of manufacturing. The specs are not about passing a factory test. They are about surviving a triple shift at some of the world's biggest factories. I'm doing a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway to celebrate when this channel reaches 1,000 subscribers. No action is required to enter. I'll randomly pick a winner once we hit the milestone. If you want to follow the journey or see the winner announcement, feel free to subscribe. Tesla's impossible manufacturing gap. Great manufacturing companies in the automotive space, like Giga Shanghai and Giga Texas, are known for their efficiency. However, manufacturing a car is vastly different from manufacturing a humanoid robot. Cars have massive chassis, large castings, and thousands of parts, which are relatively large and easy to manipulate with industrial arms. Humans have been manufacturing cars for more than a century now. In contrast, a humanoid robot is a dense cluster of fine wire actuators, strain wave gears, and sensor arrays that require clean room-level precision assembly. Tesla's Optimus Gen 2 hand has 22 degrees of freedom, and that hand is a manufacturing nightmare. The reason China wins the speed game is their vertical integration depth. If a Chinese humanoid startup needs a custom planetary gearbox smaller than a coin, they do not send a CAD file to a supplier and wait for a quote. Instead, they send a procurement agent to a specialized electronics market or across town to a specialized industrial park where a factory boss will have the prototype modified within a few days. Elon Musk recently admitted that Tesla has had to design almost every component of the Optimus from scratch because the existing industrial supply chain is not built for it. In the United States, that supply chain gap is a huge bottleneck for the entire industry. In the Yangtze River Delta, that gap would be a business opportunity for tens of thousands of small factories. The pricing pressure is evident in Elon's timeline for Optimus, which has already slipped significantly. Initially, internal use was planned for 2024, with external sales in 2025. However, the most recent earnings calls have pushed the language towards low-volume production and testing. You cannot dominate a market by just testing. By the time Optimus is production ready, China will already be flooding the global market. For Tesla to make Optimus profitable, they need to scale. To get that scale, they need customers. If customers have to buy an $18,000 humanoid robot, there will probably be fewer customers. But if there is a $9,000 Chinese alternative that does the same thing as Tesla's Optimus, they will choose that every single time. Wait, you're watching right now but not subscribed to the channel? Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so we can move on with the video. You did? Okay, cool. Behind all of this, there is a darker reason that we are exposing today. Subscribe now because we are revealing the geopolitical side of the humanoid war. Geopolitical control. This humanoid takeover goes beyond stock prices and corporate competition. It is about who owns the means of production in the 2030s. If China succeeds in deploying 500,000 humanoids across factory floors by the end of 2026, this would not just be a labor replacement, it would become a demographic rescue mission. China is facing a devastating demographic cliff. The workforce is shrinking by millions a year. By injecting 500,000 tireless, non-unionized, high-performance robotic workers into manufacturing, they solve the labor crisis to a point where it may never constrain them again. For Western manufacturing, this is an extinction-level event for the reshoring dream. The United States and Europe are trying to bring manufacturing back from Asia. They are building chip plants and battery gigafactories, but are pricing these models on human labor that is expensive and scarce. A TSMC plant in Arizona is struggling because finding skilled American workers to build a fabrication plant is nearly impossible. China's answer is to remove the human from the equation entirely. If the fully automated factory in Guangzhou runs with 0% unionized labor friction and 0% sick days, the price advantage would actually increase. The China price will drop again, just as Western manufacturers thought they were becoming competitive. We must also discuss the military-civil fusion strategy. A humanoid robot designed to load a logistics pallet can clear a minefield. A robot designed to inspect high-voltage transformers can clear an area before humans go in, entering high-risk zones and saving a lot of lives and money. The supply chain that pumps out actuators for these robots can survive the shock of conflict because it is massive and redundant. Tesla's Optimus relies entirely on a highly globalized, fragile semiconductor supply chain that ultimately traces back to Taiwan. China's domestic robot push is explicitly designed to function entirely within a dual circulation, sanctions-resistant internal ecosystem. The job displacement tsunami. But now, there is a bleak scenario playing out in China that investors are ignoring. We often talk about AI taking white-collar jobs, but the Chinese humanoid push targets blue-collar work directly. If you are a warehouse manager in Rotterdam or an auto parts assembler in Detroit, you look at a $10,000 Chinese humanoid and think it is a competitive threat to your company. The reality is, it is a threat to your physical existence as a worker. The labor dynamics inside China will shift from the world's workshop to the world's automated fortress. The government seems perfectly comfortable pushing this transition because the alternative, a collapsing pension system due to a lack of young workers, is worse. What is even more alarming is that China is actively prioritizing this shift, not considering the jobs that people currently hold. The transition speed implied by the 2026 deadline does not allow for natural retirement. It implies a deliberate, rapid dislocation. The state will likely repurpose these workers into human-robot collaboration supervisors. However, the power dynamics shift entirely. You go from being a skilled welder earning a decent salary to a low-paid babysitter for a machine that can weld faster than you ever could. The societal control aspect of the humanoid fleet is an unspoken feature. A network of 500,000 humanoids does not just need a management OS, it needs a surveillance backbone. The machines are walking, talking sensors equipped with high-fidelity cameras, microphones, and LiDAR. Integrating them into a public safety grid is a trivial data overlay. As China exports these models to the Global South through the Belt and Road Initiative, they export a standardized infrastructure for observation and control. Competing with that package deal is not something that the West is ready to do. The options left for Tesla and investors. There is a mathematical impossibility given the current supply chain reality. The move for Tesla has to be a retreat into the proprietary ecosystem and specialization. If China builds the general-purpose arms and legs, Tesla has to build the general-purpose brain. The true value of Optimus may not be the hardware because China will commoditize hardware down to zero margin, but the autonomy stack. For global investors, the decision tree has changed. Valuing AI companies based on revenue from APIs might be a distraction. The real value in the next decade is the entity that controls the factory floor. The 2026 deadline is an offensive, not a defensive move. It is designed to pull the rug out from underneath the American industrial renaissance. There is a massive psychological shift that happens when the first cargo ship lands with 10,000 ready-to-work, cheap humanoids, and they are not made by Tesla. They have no drama, no controversial tweets, and no endless reservation lists. They just work. So the countdown to 2026 is officially on. But there's one critical variable. China is commoditizing the body of the robot. But can Tesla's brain actually win the software battle? We just analyzed how Optimus finally cracked the 12-hour autonomy record, but it's the only counter move Tesla has left. Click right here to see what the next phase of this battle actually looks like. Don't get left behind, subscribe, and I'll see you over there.